Hi guys, I'm your English teacher Luke and welcome to this English expressions course. This course has 6 lessons and 47 expressions on these topics. In each lesson, I'll show you many different expressions on each topic, give you nice and clear explanations, and give you sample sentences and sample conversations for you to listen and repeat. I also want you to try to make your own sentences in the comment section below. Learning and memorizing all of these expressions will help you so much when you're communicating in English. So let's jump into lesson 1. Hi guys, I'm your English teacher Luke, and in this lesson you're going to learn 7 different and much better words you can use instead of very interesting. After this video, you're going to sound much more clever when speaking in English. But before we begin, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel to get more very interesting lessons. Very interesting? No, I mean engaging and fascinating English lessons just like this one. Okay, let's get started. The first better word to use instead of very interesting is fascinating. Fascinating. For example, the British Museum is full of fascinating artifacts. So fascinating is a great word you can use and it means to be extremely interesting. So the next time you think something is extremely interesting, use the word fascinating. Fascinating. Here are some more examples. That movie was just fascinating. I was fascinated by your story. But be careful because many students make this common mistake. So remember that adjectives can take 2 forms. They can either end in ed or end in ing. An adjective that ends in ed describes your feeling or your emotion. I was fascinated by your story. Adjectives that end in ing describe the characteristics of a person, a thing, or a situation. For example, that movie was fascinating. Movie here is a thing, so we should use the ing form to describe the characteristic of that thing. Okay, cool. Now what is something that fascinates you? Write an example below in the comments and I'll check it.
Fascinating. That's fascinating, but my point is fascinating.
The second word you can use instead of very interesting is gripping. Gripping. For example, the Game of Thrones was a gripping TV series. Or, that speech you gave last night was so gripping. So, to grip something means to hold it tightly and not let it go. But as an adjective, it means that something is very interesting and it holds your attention completely. You use this when you can't stop watching, listening, or thinking about something. So, what TV shows or movies have you seen that were gripping? Leave your answer below in the comments.
Short story about the lonely pony, gripping.
The third adjective on this list is one of my favorites and it is intriguing. Intriguing. For example, the Harry Potter books were so intriguing. I find history to be intriguing. So intriguing means to be very interesting because something is unusual or mysterious. So the next time you want to describe something that is unusual or mysterious but also very interesting, try to use the word intriguing instead. What subjects do you find to be intriguing? Leave your answer in the comments.
Well, that's a very intriguing question.
That's an intriguing idea. Because that's intriguing.
Captivating. Captivating. This is an awesome word you can use instead of very interesting. For example, Stephen King's books are so captivating, I can't stop reading them. Or Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker was captivating. So captivating is used when something grabs your attention and keeps you interested for a long time. You use it when your attention is fully focused on that thing and you can't think about anything else. You just want to watch, read, or listen to that thing. It can also be used to say that someone is very attractive. For example, her smile was captivating.
Is that captivating enough?
That woman, she's so captivating.
The next one on this list is engaging. Engaging. For example, Robert Downey Jr. has an engaging personality. Or, we had a very engaging conversation last night. So engaging is a synonym for very interesting, but is used when something is interesting in a pleasant or charming way and attracts your attention. Who do you know that has an engaging personality? Leave your answer below in the comments.
Very engaging.
The next one on this list is thought-provoking. Thought-provoking. For example, The Matrix was a thought-provoking film. Or, I like to read thought-provoking books. So thought-provoking means to be very interesting in a way that makes you think deeply about that topic or that subject. So thought-provoking is a much more specific word than just very interesting. So use it the next time you read a book, watch a movie, have a conversation with someone that made you think deeply. Thought-provoking. What was the last thought-provoking film you watched? Write it in the comments.
Well, that's certainly a thought-provoking hypothesis.
Admit it's thought-provoking.
Number 7 on this list is compelling. Compelling. For example, Obama gave a compelling speech. Her argument was really compelling. So we use compelling when something was very interesting, but also in a persuasive way. So if you listen to something that was compelling, it means that it made you rethink your opinion or persuade you to do something. This is when we use the word compelling.
Sounds compelling.
I found it compelling.
Guys, now it's your turn. I want you to make your own sentences with these adjectives in the comments below. Don't forget to do that. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. See you. Hi guys, great to see you again. I'm your teacher Luke, and in this English lesson you're going to learn lots of phrasal verbs you can use to talk about money. This lesson is going to be so important for you because these phrasal verbs will help you speak much more naturally about things like spending money, saving money, and so much more. But before we start, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel to get more English lessons just like this one. Okay, let's go. So the first one on this list is something I do a bit too much, and it is splash out. Splash out. For example, he splashed out on the most expensive bottle of champagne for the party. So to splash out means to spend a lot of money on something expensive. And it's usually used when you buy something expensive that you don't actually need. So like a big expensive bottle of champagne, for example. So how can we use splash out correctly in sentences? Well, splash out is an intransitive phrasal verb. That means you don't need an object with it. Instead, if you want to add more information to your sentence, you should use the preposition on. Here are some more examples. He splashed out on a new and expensive car. I wish I had enough money to splash out on a holiday. Have you ever splashed out on something? Let me know below in the comments.
Splashed out on a special bottle for a special. Wow. Dad really splashed out this time.
The second on this list is a simple one, but one that's used all the time, and it is save up. Save up. For example, I'm saving up to buy a new car. To save up simply means to save your money, but when we use save up, we mean that we're saving for a specific purpose, just like buying a new car. To use save up correctly, you should know that it is an intransitive phrasal verb, so you don't need to use an object with it. You don't need to say, I'm saving up money, because when we say saving up, we already assume that you mean money, so you don't need to use money. It's often followed by the prepositions to and for. To is used with verbs and for is used with nouns. For example, I'm saving up to go to Bali. I'm saving up for a new house. Are you saving up for anything at the moment? Let me know below in the comments.
Saving up for something special.
Saving up to get me some wheels.
The next one on this list is cough up. Cough up. For example, he finally coughed up the money he owed me. So to cough up means to give money or pay for something, especially when you would prefer not to. So in my example, I said, he finally coughed up the money he owed me. This means that that person didn't want to give back the money to me. So I use the word cough up. To cough up is an intransitive and a transitive phrasal verb. So you can say he coughed up the money, or you can just say he coughed up. Both are correct. However, if you want to use the object, the money, it must come after the phrasal verb. So this is not a separable phrasal verb. So have a look at these examples. I had to cough up for my daughter's university tuition fees. Come on, cough up. It's your turn to pay.
Cough it up, Cooper.
Very well.
What are you talking about? Come on, cough it up.
And number 4 is skimp on. Skimp on. For example, when you're making YouTube videos, you shouldn't skimp on your microphone. So to skimp on simply means to not spend enough money on something. Instead, you don't spend enough money and you try to find the budget option. This is to skimp on. To skimp on is a transitive phrasal verb that means you must use an object with it. So you always skimp on something. That something is the object. And that object must come after the phrasal verb. So you always skimp on something. You should also know that this is a very informal way of saying that you don't spend enough money on something, and it's much more common in British English. It's not that common in American English. When I was a student at university, I always skimped on food. Even though we were over budget for our wedding, we didn't skimp on the photographer. Do you ever skimp on anything? Let me know below in the comments.
I don't think now is the time to skimp on quality.
They didn't skimp on the tar.
And number 5 on this list is get by. Get by. For example, my salary isn't much at the moment, but I get by. So to get by means to just have enough money to be able to live and to survive. It has quite a negative meaning. It basically means that you don't make much money at all, but it's just enough. So let's take a look at how to use this correctly. So to get by is an intransitive phrasal verb. That means it doesn't take an object. So if you want to add more information, you can by using the prepositions on and with. I just about get by on $1,000 a month. I don't know how any family gets by with just one salary these days.
We'll get by.
Money, you can get by on your salary.
Okay guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget to make your own sentences in the comments below and like and subscribe if you liked this video. Thanks a lot and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Hi guys, I'm your English teacher Luke. So, do you find that when you speak in English, you use the same words over and over again? Don't worry, a lot of students feel like that. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you some amazing vocabulary you can use instead of very big. It's important to learn words like these ones so you can have more variety in your English and stop repeating the same words over and over again. But before we start, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel to get more English lessons just like this one. Okay, let's get started. The first word you can use instead of very big is enormous. Enormous. Now, enormous is a really cool word you can use to describe something that's really big, tall or wide, something that's very large in amount, or something that's very strong in degree. For example, the Empire State Building is an enormous building. His appetite is enormous. He eats so much. She's an enormous success. What is enormous in your country? Leave your answer below in the comments.
It's enormous.
Enormous.
They're enormous.
The next one is a really great word you can use and it'll make you sound a lot more clever when you're speaking, and it is colossal. Colossal. So colossal means that something is very big in size or big in degree. And it's used to show that that thing has quite a lot of importance. So if something is colossal, it usually means that it is very big and important. For example, the death of Nelson Mandela was a colossal loss. The Titanic was a colossal ship. He made a colossal mistake. Does your city have any colossal buildings? Let me know in the comments below.
And I'm gonna get a colossal donut.
This is super colossal big fat boss baby.
The next one is one of my favorites, and it is tremendous. Tremendous. So we use tremendous to say that something's very big or there's a large amount of something. But this word has quite a positive connotation, so you'll mostly hear it used when someone's describing something very big, but in a very positive way. It also has the meaning of being really good or really great, very similar to the word awesome. For example, a tremendous amount of work has gone into this project. He spent a tremendous amount of money on his car. It was a tremendous experience. Have you ever spent a tremendous amount of money on anything? Let me know about it in the comment section.
Tremendous. That's tremendous.
You have tremendous potential, Val.
Tremendous cultural value.
Number 4 is monstrous. Monstrous. So monstrous is very similar to tremendous, but it has a bit of a negative connotation and a negative feeling. You can probably guess this from the word. Monstrous sounds like monster, and monsters are usually quite negative. So you can use monstrous when you want to describe something that's very big, but usually in a negative way. Take a look at these examples. The city has some monstrous skyscrapers. They made a monstrous amount of money. He ate a monstrous dinner.
Monstrously ugly.
Monstrous lie.
Who's behind this monstrous crime?
Number 5 is another one of my favorites, and it is gigantic. Gigantic. So gigantic is used to describe something that's very big, as if it was made for a giant. The word gigantic sounds like giant, right? This can be used for the size of things or the scale or strength of something. Here are some examples. That airplane looks like a gigantic bird. What's a gigantic yellow duck? That bomb caused a gigantic explosion.
Gigantic!
A matter of gigantic responsibility, and you do it.
A gigantic pile of money.
Another great word you can use instead of very big is vast. Vast. So vast is used to describe things that are very big but very wide. It's not used to describe things that are very tall, just for big and wide. It can be used to describe physical places like the Sahara Desert or Russia, for example, but it can also be used to describe more abstract things like knowledge or experience. Take a look at these examples. She has a vast amount of knowledge on this subject. There is a vast difference between them. Russia is a vast country. Do you have any vast knowledge or vast experience in anything? Let me know below in the comments.
Across vast oceans. Across vast distances and through solid metal.
Vastly misunderstood beasts, Harry. Vastly misunderstood.
Number 7 on this list is a really common one, but a word I think students don't use enough, and it is huge. Huge. So huge can simply be used to talk about something's size or importance. For example, Seoul is a huge city. This could be the start of something huge for you. That shirt is huge. It'll never fit me.
Huge mistake.
You think?
My family has a huge amount of money.
I'm a huge fan.
Humongous. Humongous. Now this word is a really good alternative to very big, and it means extremely big. So only use humongous when you're talking about something that is much, much bigger than what else you're comparing it to. This one can be considered to be a little bit informal, so don't use it when you're writing formally, just use it when you're speaking casually with people. The universe is humongous. What a humongous dog. I hope I'm not making a humongous mistake. Do you know anything that is really humongous? Let me know below in the comments.
Ed, I had a humongous breakfast, made me kind of tired.
Chef, your dad is a humongous jerk.
A humongous house in the distance. The owner.
Number 9 is a really cool one, and it is jumbo. Jumbo. So jumbo just means extremely big in size. For example, the biggest plane in the world is called a jumbo jet. That's a jumbo box of cereal. What a jumbo building.
3 jumbo cherry squishies.
Where's my jumbo latte?
Whopping, whopping. This is another really great word you can use instead of very big. And it's used to say that something is very big in size or amount or the strength of something. But this one is also a little bit informal, so again, don't use it when you're writing formally, just use it when you're speaking casually with people. For example, I've got a whopping bruise on my arm. I caught a whopping fish when I was fishing last weekend. YouTube is a whopping platform.
Winning bid was a whopping $20,000.
A whopping 64 ounces. That's
Now it's your turn. I want you to make your own sentences in the comments below with some of these alternatives for very big. Practice using it because it will help you remember them in the future. Okay, that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Hi everybody, my name is Luke and welcome to English Top 10s. In this video, you're going to learn 10 must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing with someone in casual and spoken English. This video is going to help you sound much more natural when speaking in English. So let's get started. The first expression we're going to study is, I couldn't agree more. I think everyone should stop getting so upset over politics. I couldn't agree more. We use I couldn't agree more to show that we completely, 100% agree with someone else's opinion and that it's actually impossible for us to agree anymore. Even though this is quite a strong way to show that you agree with someone, it is really common in everyday English. Now listen to how I say this expression. I couldn't agree more. I want us to focus on the word couldn't. So this is actually two words, could and not, and they get put together and shortened. We call this a contraction. And in spoken and natural English, we use contractions all the time. So remember, never say, I could not agree with you more. Instead, say, I couldn't agree with you more. Also, when native speakers are speaking really quickly, sometimes the t sound in couldn't gets dropped, and it's pronounced like this. Couldn't. Couldn't. I couldn't agree with you more.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Rachel, I couldn't agree with you more.
The next expression is, you've got to be kidding me. I think we should go home early tonight. You've got to be kidding me. I'm having a great time. I don't want to go home. You've got to be kidding me is quite a strong way to show that you disagree with someone, and it shows that you are a little bit angry, frustrated, or even surprised with that opinion or suggestion. Now let's look at the pronunciation of this expression. So the first thing you need to know is that there is a contraction, and it's with the words you and have. They get put together and become you've. You've. The second thing is with the word to. In this expression, the word to takes the weak form and it sounds like ta. Then it's linked with the word got. So together it becomes gotta. Gotta. Now if you put it all together, it's pronounced like this. You've got to be kidding me. A bit more quickly. You've got to be kidding me.
You've got to be kidding me.
You've got to be kidding me.
The third expression is, tell me about it. Our teacher is giving us a lot of homework nowadays. Tell me about it. It's way too much. Tell me about it is used when you are agreeing with someone's opinion because you have experienced the same thing. So in the example, speaker A said, our teacher is giving us a lot of homework. And speaker B said, tell me about it. This is because speaker B is also getting the homework, so he's experienced the same thing. Here's another quick pronunciation tip. So listen to how I say about and it in this expression when I'm speaking quickly. Ready? Tell me about it. So here, the t sound in about actually becomes more like a d sound. Then that the sound links to the next word, which is it. And it sounds like this. About it. About it. All together. Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Okay guys, before I tell you the fourth expression, please do me a favor and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. It will really help me a lot. Okay, so the fourth expression is, don't make me laugh. Can you finish this report by tomorrow? Don't make me laugh. It's going to take me weeks. Don't make me laugh is a really strong way to disagree with someone's opinion, and it's used when you think that opinion or suggestion is really outrageous or foolish. Again, this expression has another contraction. Remember, always use contractions when you're speaking. So don't say, do not make me laugh. Instead, say, don't make me laugh. That's much more natural.
Don't make me laugh.
Don't make me laugh. No.
Now, number 5 on this list is, you can say that again. Tottenham Hotspur are the best football team in the Premier League. You can say that again. So you can use you can say that again when you 100% agree with an opinion. This is used to show some excitement or passion when you're agreeing. But remember, this expression doesn't mean that you want the person to repeat what they've said. It's just used to show that you strongly agree with their opinion. So here's a quick pronunciation tip. Can in this expression takes the weak form and it's pronounced like kun. When you say the whole expression, it sounds like this. You can say that again. You can say that again.
You can say that again.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Hey. Expression number 6 is, I don't see it that way. I think everyone should have a 3-day weekend. I don't see it that way. I think people need to work more. I don't see it that way is a really polite and soft way to disagree with someone's opinion, and it's also used just before you give your own opinion. This is a very casual and common way to disagree with someone very politely and softly.
I don't see it that way, okay? Because I see 2 Monicas.
I don't see it that way.
Now, expression number 7 is, that sounds about right. I think Trump will lose the next election. That sounds about right. That sounds about right is another way to agree with someone. But this is used when you want to show that you are not completely certain with that opinion. You just think that might be right. The word about in this expression shows that you are a little bit uncertain. If you want to sound more certain, you can just say, that sounds right. Or, that sounds right to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right, I guess.
That sounds about right.
Number 8. You can't be serious. Iron Man 3 is the best movie ever made. You can't be serious. It's good, but it's not the best. So, you can't be serious is another way to disagree with someone. But this one is used to express your disbelief and surprise about what someone has just said. So, you can use this expression when you're really shocked by someone's bad or silly opinion. Again, there's another contraction in this expression. See, I told you contractions were really common. In this expression, the contraction is can and not. They get put together and it becomes can't. You can't be serious.
You can't be serious.
You can't be serious.
And number 9, you're dead right. English idioms are so difficult. You're dead right. There's just so many of them. You're dead right is a very casual idiom which is used to say that you strongly agree with someone. There are many idioms in English with dead, and some are even positive like this one. The opposite is simply, you're dead wrong. You can use that to show that you strongly disagree with someone. Are there idioms in your language with the word dead? And here's another contraction. So in this sentence, the contraction is your, which is you and are. Again, they got put together and it became your. It's very uncommon to hear people say, "You are dead right." It's always, "You're dead right." And the last expression on my list is, "Speak for yourself." We thought that movie sucked. Speak for yourself. I loved it. So speak for yourself is used to show that you disagree with someone. But this is only used in a specific situation. When someone tries to include you in their opinion, but you disagree. Like in my example, Speaker A said, "We thought that movie sucked." But Speaker B liked the movie, so he said, "Speak for yourself. I liked it." So only use this expression when someone else is trying to include you in their opinion, but you disagree with them.
Speak for yourself.
No, speak for yourself.
So that's it. There are many ways to agree and disagree with someone in casual and spoken English. Here were just 10 very common ones. Remember, most of these expressions are really casual and quite informal, so only use them in spoken English. Don't use them in formal written English. So that's it. Now it's your turn. I want you to make your own sentences with these expressions, so leave them below in the comments and I'll check. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. See you! Hi, I'm Luke and welcome to this English Top 10s video. In this video, you're going to learn 10 expressions we use using the word face. This video is going to be really useful for you because learning different expressions like these ones will help you sound much more colourful and give you more variety in your vocabulary. So let's get started. The first expression is a slap in the face. So I'm going to show you a sentence with this expression and I want you to listen and try to guess the meaning. Okay, let's go. It was a real slap in the face when Tom got the promotion instead of me. I always work a lot harder than he does. So, did you guess? A slap in the face is when something disappointing or insulting happens to you, especially when that action is a surprise. So, in my example, I wanted that promotion because I worked harder than Tom. So, when Tom got the promotion, I was disappointed and surprised, so I can say it was a slap in the face.
It's just such a slap in the face, you know?
To me, it doesn't. It's a slap in the face.
The second expression is to face up to something. So again, listen to the sentence and try to guess the meaning. You need to face up to your fear of the IELTS exam if you want to get a good score. To face up to something means to confront something that we don't want to confront. It can be used for emotions, like fear, for example, face up to your fear, or it can be used for people, just like this. You need to face up to the bully. Here's a quick pronunciation tip. When speaking quickly, a lot of function words like to, and, but, the, and so on, these take the weak form and are not stressed strongly. In this example, the word to is pronounced like ta. So when you say this expression quickly, it sounds like this. Face up to it. Or face up to your fears.
You better face up to it, son.
We're getting out of here, Cochran. Face up to it.
The third expression with the word face is to have egg on one's face. Again, listen and try to guess the meaning. This new scandal has left the Prime Minister with egg on his face. So what do you think it means? Well, to have egg on one's face means that someone feels embarrassed by something that he or she has done, usually because they did something wrong or kind of stupid. So the next time you did something wrong or silly, you can say, I was completely wrong and now I have egg on my face.
You, because you have egg all over your face.
Because you got egg on your face?
Everybody knows I'm a fraud and I have egg on my face. Dorian.
Moving on to number 4, which is to fall flat on one's face. Again, don't forget to listen and try to guess the meaning. I told everyone that I would pass my driving test easily, but I fell flat on my face. To fall flat on your face means to fail completely at something in a very public and embarrassing way. So the next time you fail at something and a lot of people have seen you fail, you can say, I fell flat on my face. I fell flat on my face when I tried karaoke for the first time. Oh, that was bad. Number 5. Keep a straight face. Chris's new hairstyle is so funny. I found it hard to keep a straight face. To keep a straight face means to show no emotions in your face, like no smiling or laughing, when something funny happens. Maybe you want to keep a straight face when your friend does something silly, or when your friend has a bad haircut, but you don't want to show them that you're actually laughing inside. Also, this can be used when you're trying to tell a joke to someone, but you are trying to control your laughter or control your smiling face.
Damn it! I was trying to keep a straight face! Keep a straight face.
Number 6 is, until I'm blue in the face. Again, listen and try to guess the meaning. I argued my point until I was blue in the face, but she wouldn't change her opinion. Until I'm blue in the face, or until you're blue in the face, is used when you talk to someone for a long time, but they don't listen or follow your advice. You can use this to show that you're frustrated that the other person isn't listening to you at all.
Till I was blue in the face.
Listen until we're blue in the face about cars, sports.
Number 7 is to lose face. He didn't understand the lecture, but he said he did because he didn't want to lose face in front of his classmates. To lose face means to feel embarrassed in front of other people, probably other people that you're close to or that you respect. So when we feel embarrassed, we lose face. Here's a quick grammar tip. Don't put a pronoun in between the words lose and face. Not like this. I don't want to lose my face. That's not correct. Actually, it's kind of strange. So just say, I don't want to lose face. Or you can say, my student doesn't want to lose face, so he keeps quiet in class.
I said I don't want to lose face in front of my...
I guess I just didn't want to lose face.
I don't want to lose face. That's a very serious thing in my culture.
And number 8 is to face the music. After drinking alcohol all night, the next morning I had to face the music because I had a bad hangover. So what do you think this means? Well, to face the music means to experience the negative result or the consequences of your past actions. So in my example, my action was drinking alcohol. The result or the consequence is a bad hangover, so I faced the music. You can also use this expression for more serious situations, like this. If we don't stop climate change soon, we'll all face the music.
Time to face the music.
Face the music. Stay. Face the music.
And number 9 is to blow up in one's face. Tina's decision to invest only in technology stocks has really blown up in her face. She has lost so much money. So what do you think this means? Well, if something you do blows up in your face, it means that your plan or decision has gone wrong unexpectedly, and the results are quite serious. It's mostly used to talk about your past actions, but you can also use it to talk about the future, like this. Don't cheat on your homework. It'll blow up in your face.
It's gonna blow up in his face.
But what if it blows up in my face?
You wanted all this to blow up in my face.
And number 10 is can't face it. I just can't face attending another business meeting. I just want to go home. So what do you think this means? Well, you can use I can't face it when you really strongly don't want to do something. It shows that you're either exhausted, frustrated, angry, or tired with that action or event, and you just don't want to do it anymore. So next time you don't want to do something, just say, I can't face it. I don't want to do it anymore. And here's a quick pronunciation tip. So remember, when speaking naturally and quickly, you should always try to use contractions. In this example, the contraction is with can and not. They got put together and it became can't. Can't. Always use contractions when you're speaking because it'll make you sound much more natural.
We can't face it alone.
Why can't you just face it, Em?
So that's it. I hope this top 10s lesson was useful for you. Now it's your turn. I want you to make your own sentences with some of these expressions. So write them below in the comments and I'll check. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time. Hi guys, I'm your teacher Luke. Many of my students ask me how to speak more naturally in English, and one of the things I tell them is to use more phrasal verbs. This is because phrasal verbs are really common in everyday spoken English, but many learners, probably like you, don't use them. But not anymore, because in this video I'm going to show you 5 phrasal verbs you can use to talk about your job and show you how to use them correctly. But before we start, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you're new here. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first phrasal verb is get ahead. Get ahead. Here's an example. If you want to get ahead in a job like mine, you have to work long hours. So the phrasal verb get ahead means to be successful in your job, to be ahead of others. Have a look at this example. It's difficult for women to get ahead in politics. This means that it is difficult for women to be successful in politics. Okay, good. Now you know what this phrasal verb means. Let's take a look at how to use it correctly. So to get ahead is what we call an intransitive phrasal verb. That means you don't need to use an object with it. So I can just say, I want to get ahead. That is a complete sentence. But if you want to add more information, you can by using the preposition in. Just like this. I want to get ahead in my career.
That's not the way to get ahead in life.
Son, if you want to get ahead in this world,
The next one is knock off. Knock off. For example, I usually knock off work early on Fridays. So to knock off means to stop or finish work, usually at the end of a workday, so at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. This is an informal phrasal verb, so don't use it with your boss or your manager. Instead, use it with your colleagues or your friends. Now let's take a look at how to use knock off correctly. So firstly, you should know that this is a transitive phrasal verb. That means we must use an object with it. For example, I knocked off work early. In this sentence, work is the object. The second thing you need to know is that this is a non-separable phrasal verb. So it's always I knocked off work, not I knocked work off. That's incorrect.
Because I gotta knock off work to come here and the commute is killing me.
The third one on this list is snowed under. Snowed under. So here's a quick example. I can't make it to the party tonight because I'm snowed under at work. So to be snowed under means to be really busy with a lot of work and you feel overwhelmed or stressed by it. Okay, so how do we use this phrasal verb correctly? Well, it's mostly used with the prepositions with and at. For example, I'm snowed under with work at the moment, or I'm snowed under at the office.
No, there's no way I can get away now. I'm snowed under at work.
Another good phrasal verb you can use at work is to stick at something. Stick at something. So here's a quick example. Even though I'm finding this new project really difficult, I'm gonna stick at it. So to stick at something means to continue to work hard at something even though you find it really difficult. Another common example is, if you stick at it, I'm sure it'll get a lot easier. What this means basically is don't quit, continue working hard even though you find it difficult right now. Okay, again, how do we use this correctly? Well, stick at is again a transitive phrasal verb. That's why we always say stick at something. It needs an object, and that something is the object. You should also know that this is a non-separable phrasal verb, so the object always comes after the phrasal verb. Like this, stick at your job, stick at your work.
You just have to stick at it, and you will.
And the last phrasal verb is a really common one, and it is pile up. Pile up. Here's an example. My work keeps piling up. It never ends. So we use pile up when something becomes more and more, usually in a negative way. For example, like work, paperwork, meetings, problems, this kind of thing. Here's another example. The problems in my office keep piling up. Okay, and of course, let's take a look at how to use pile up correctly. So to pile up is an intransitive phrasal verb. That means you don't need an object with it. So you can just say, something piles up. My problems pile up. My work piles up. If you want to add more information, you can add an adverb after the phrasal verb, just like this. My work piles up quickly. In this sentence, quickly is the adverb and it adds more information to your sentence.
Paperwork's piling up.
Okay, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also, do you have any recommendations for future videos? If you have something you want me to teach you, write it in the comments below and I'll make a video just for that. Okay, see you guys.